cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. Welcome, fellas, to another True Tuesday episode. I don't know if you guys have seen lately in the news, but there's been several drone sightings occurring over the tri-state area, and a lot of people are being alarmed because they're not sure where these drones are coming from, and it just seems very mysterious how they appear in the air, and there's no particular action being done, but it just seems suspicious, you know, for them just to appear, sit there for a minute, and then fly off. And several people have noticed this occurring, like I say, in different areas. And I'm the first to always think on some conspiracy type of level, to where I feel, you know, that's these terrorists that are trying to plan or figure out their next move on attacking the United States. Now, honestly, I'm a fan of drones. I don't have any or own any, but I do like the fact of what you're able and capable of to do with drones.
Right.
Now, I wouldn't use them for any mischievous type of behavior. I just like the fact that you can, do a lot of photography, utilizing drones, and get some great sights of certain things that you wouldn't be able to do while on the ground. Yeah. But you got people that are extremely smart, and they definitely will push it to the level of where they shouldn't be utilizing these drones, and they're doing things that are definitely borderline of a crime occurring. Now, when you're dealing with stuff that's in the air, it's a federal offense. You have those lasers that you can't even, those lasers that you have these pins that have those lasers, that you can't point in the air, because that's a federal offense.
Wow. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So these drones that are flying, and again, anybody could be controlling these drones. So that's the dangerous thing, not knowing exactly where these drones are coming from and why they're flying in an area that they shouldn't be flying in. That's what makes it sound and look suspicious. How you guys feel about, have you ever seen any drones in the air?
Yes.
I've seen a drone before. I've seen people use them to actually film videos, music videos. They use them to kind of pan in and pan out from above view or fly around. So drones can be used in a lot of
for a variety of things. Yeah,
exactly. Dropping out. They use it in prison when they be kiting. They use them for kites. I've watched it on. I watch a lot of prison shows where you don't want to get locked up. They use drones to deliver messages.
Now, see, I would think right there that that prison alone, if they're aware of drones being that, it shouldn't be a no-fly zone, in my opinion, around the prison.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say. With drones, and that's the scary part about drones, and I'm surprised it hasn't. I'm pretty sure it's going to. I hope it doesn't. I pray it doesn't. But drones, they fly below the radar, so we wouldn't catch them. Get what I'm saying? They are well below the radar. I don't think you can really catch drones on radar like that unless you're actually looking for it. But chemical warfare, oh my goodness. Because you don't know how many drones someone got or bought that's just flying below the radar and they just release them. You just don't know. That's the scary thing about it. I've always been worried about those people that just had thinking minds, but they're just with bad people. Those drones can cause a lot of problems.
It's okay, money.
Yes, sir.
you said that no fly zones.
I would think over a prison it should be considered a no-fly zone.
You would think.
Yeah, but you were mentioning about. Did you mention a story or something like that about a drone?
Well, no, I was just saying how it's been several sightings over the past few weeks where several drones have been seen.
So I've seen some of those stories where several drones have been seen, but the people that was reporting these drones being seen were people they were in their houses, in their neighborhoods, and stuff like that, right?
Correct.
So I don't think that the neighborhoods or certain things would be a no-fly zone.
No, only in I'm sorry. The story that Comedian 96 had given in regards to kiting and prisons being involved.
Yeah,
that's why I feel
prison.
like
They're using the drones to drop off drugs.
So
notes
let's say that there is a bunch of sightings of drones, and they've been seeing them in certain areas. Nobody knows where these drones are coming from, but people are starting to report it now because people got their phones and everything.
right.
But you're not in a no-fly zone, and you haven't committed a crime. So what would cause the uproar?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, in a couple of the sightings, I want to say that a couple of drones were noticed near a military facility.
Yes.
As well as near an airport. So
They should give restrictions on how high and how far a drone can fly. You really just want to play with it. I wouldn't fly no more than a half a mile.
well, that's just it. You would think that if you purchase a drone for personal use, that you're just playing with it and seeing just what all you can pretty much do with it. But as far as like I say, what business would one have to fly over a military base?
None.
Not at all. And now a situation in New Jersey caused the congressman to urge the Pentagon to authorize use of force to bring one of those drones down, to try to get to the bottom of what's going on. And they want to shoot the thing down over the ocean in an unpopulated area of land. But now I don't think that that's something that's going to happen. But it's definitely the congressman's decision of what he wanted to do in New Jersey.
Correct. Yep.
Comedian 96, you had mentioned the restriction. I'm sure that there are restrictions. I don't think that they're being enforced right now because drones are still kind of new.
Yeah.
But they're being used for a whole bunch of things in a variety of ways.
I ain't gonna say they knew. I bought my daughter one on her 6th birthday. She's gonna be 18. So they're about 10, 12, 15 years.
Oh, I didn't realize that they were that.
So,
Yeah. They're about 15 years. I bought one at radio. They'd be expensive. Now you can get it for $10, $20, but they were like 80.
So,
Money.
you said one was over a military base.
Yeah,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, one was seen flying close by a military facility.
So check this out. Think about when we were in the military, in the barracks. Now, Comedian 96, without you going into any stories that you participated in, think about the mischievous things that was done on when you came to visit me. And the things that used to happen. So could it be that somebody that a military personnel bought a drone for themselves and just happened to be flying it on the base?
Thank God they didn't have a drone that night.
That very well may be possible. It hadn't been confirmed. It was no military involvement from what the news story was reporting. However, I think seeing that the drones were making a lot of news, not a lot of news, but making a lot of noise in the news, I don't think if that was the case, Freddie G, that person would step up and say that that was my drone for fear of some type of repercussion.
Right. Of course they wouldn't. But my thing is that when we see drones and we see that stuff, our minds, I know mine is, it's kind of programmed to be thinking like, okay, here comes some terrorist stuff. Here comes some spying stuff.
I totally agree with that.
And so what if there's a individual that's on the base that's been drinking and just can't leave the base because they ain't got no wheels or nothing. They just say, man, shit, let me go over here to this store and get me something to drink.
Right.
And they done bought a drone to entertain themselves to fly around the base.
Now, see, I don't see anything wrong with that or any harm being done. However, again, if there are restrictions in place to when flying drones, if they would enforce them or be more clear on what the restrictions are, I think that can somewhat control the situation at hand.
But see, here's the problem. They'll say, just say they put restrictions on drones. The one I just bought, it was a drone, but it was shaped like a jet, right? They called it a jet, but it was a jet drone. They'll probably say, okay, this is a jet. This is not a drone. This is not... But it still has the same capabilities as the drone. Does everything as a drone, but it just looks like a jet. Most drones have the little helicopters. They have the 4 rotators so they can fly. But this one's a jet. It has the 4 rotators under the bottom, but it looks like a jet.
How big was it? I mean, because
I'll say about the size of a laptop.
So if let's say a plane is flying and a pilot sees this drone that looks like a jet. How would it appear to that pilot?
It'll look like something you put in the water. You know how you put a little boat in the water?
So they would identify it as a toy right away, you think?
Yeah. It's a little small. Man, about the size of your laptop. You close it. About the size of that. It was not that, probably not even that big. Maybe a little bit smaller. But they'll know it's not something, that's going to do something.
Now, see, in that situation, the only harm would be, it just flying close to a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I don't think they get up that high though. They don't get plane height. I think.
See, and that's the reason why I feel that they shouldn't be flying close to airports because planes are taking off and landing. So that's
right. I think
where
those
there would be an
drones
instance where they would be close to a plane.
Yeah, they get 5 miles high. If I'm not mistaken, they can get up to 5 miles high, and planes get way higher than that. I don't think they can get up to a plane.
5 miles high. That's pretty high.
Yeah, but planes go up way higher than that.
But I'm saying it could be at a plane's level if it's close to an airport.
When it's landing, you're right. Yep. You got a point.
And 5 miles to me that's pretty high up there.
That's pretty high. Yeah,
that's high.
That's high.
5 miles.
Yeah,
I can't see one.
He's like 5 miles.
I'm just saying.
True.
Can you look straight and see a whole mile down?
A mile, not maybe. Well, if it's straight. Maybe no, I can't. Yeah, probably. I can see 3 blocks. I can see about 2-3 blocks down. 3 lights down. Probably 2 to 3 lights.
I don't think there's no way you'd ever
see a mile. Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're higher up than on land.
Up is you can see up because you see planes up in the sky. Like they're well more than 5 miles, but you can see them.
Miles.
Yeah,
true.
Upwards, but not away.
Well, look at it this way.
Yeah,
it depends on what you're looking at.
Well,
the bigger the object is, of course you can
see it.
Right.
Now, keep in mind, if your drone is 5 miles up in the air, you're not looking at it with your naked eye up in the air. You're looking at the controller that probably has a screen.
It's telling you, it's got a map. It has a map on the GPS in your drone now. Longitude. Yep, that's exactly what you're doing.
So this is really the thing to me. What the federal officials are saying is that it doesn't pose a threat to us.
It doesn't pose a threat to the public, but the threat is the areas that it's flying near.
Exactly, my point.
And it just happened that I think over the weekend, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has called for federal assistance after the latest drone sighting to temporarily shut down an airport. So just think about that, airport being shut down.
Yeah, let me retract something real quick.
What's that?
It's saying, well, that's the limit. I take that back. They're saying some commercial drones can fly higher than, okay, I guess I did get it right, 400 feet. That's still high.
Yeah.
400 feet, that's 4-story building. So, well, that's more than 4-story building. That's 400 feet. So,
I mean, they can get high enough to interfere with
40 feet is
aircraft.
Yeah.
This past Saturday, man, 2 men just happened to be arrested after drones fly closely to Boston's Logan Airport. Now, I think had it not been in the news recently of these drone sightings, I don't think these 2 men would have been arrested.
Right.
I just think the attention that they've caused lately
with flying drones. Period. That
Right.
got everybody caught up now.
And
So what were they actually arrested for though? Like, was it in a no-fly zone?
it says that the charges were arrested and faced charges of trespassing. So, but again, this was near an airport, and I can see that, because again, I can see a drone being close to an airport could be considered dangerous.
If you cross that line over to the airport, airports have the fences around them or what have you. Once you get over on that part of their property, that's trespassing.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
It was a Robert Duffy, 42-year-old of Charlestown, and Jeremy Falsick, a 32-year-old of Bridgewater, were the gentlemen that were arrested over the weekend. Further fines and charges are possible. However, they are scheduled to be arraigned in a Dorchester District Court later on. I don't know if other arrests are going to be made in the near future, or if this is going to cut down on the drone sightings or people even utilizing their drones. But again, I'm interested, and they probably will eventually purchase a drone. I'm just not. My fear of them, not fear of them, but the reason I haven't purchased one yet is because I don't really understand the regulations and the guidelines on how to utilize a drone. Therefore, I don't want to have to deal with the feds just because of my ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Losing it because you don't know how to control it that good.
Yeah.
And it get away from you.
And that easily, I'm sure that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Comedian 96, you say you bought a drone for your daughter at 6 years old.
She was 6, yeah.
So I would have to imagine that was a pretty basic drone.
It was. It did. I don't think it flew high. Maybe
was she even able to control
stories,
it?
Maybe 2 stories. It didn't go very high.
Man, he bought
And
that
it
drone for itself.
No. I ain't into
He
that.
wanted
I
to
like
play
remote
with.
control cars.
I do as
but
well.
I don't like stuff that fly. I'll do a remote control boat and I'll do a car. I ain't into the jets and flying.
Why
and
not?
I don't know. I'm just not into jets, man. I'm like fast cars. I like fast cars, but I ain't into jets. And anything that's coming off the ground and I got to fall down, I have no controller. I really don't even like flying, but I have to. Because if I don't have no control over jumping out the plane and being okay without a parachute, car, I can stop the brakes. I'm under control. But even Navy, I can't drink all that water. I don't even know why.
I had to ask though, was it easy for her to control it at 6 years old?
I'm going to be honest. I believe it was regift.
Oh.
Because my daughter never mentioned it. I believe that thing was regift. I just never said anything to the mother. I just let her make it. Because my daughter played with everything I had, but she never talked about that drone.
So maybe it was too difficult to where she just didn't have the patience.
It just had a remote control. It was really easy, just like a car. It's the same thing. It wasn't the same exact
That's what
thing.
I'm saying. So that was a pretty basic drone.
Yeah, it was a basic drone. It wasn't nothing hard about
These
it.
drones that I'm speaking of that were cited, I'm sure these
I'm
are some
sure
pretty
they're
advanced type motherfuckers.
They got some expensive.
They got
drones,
some
man.
expensive with the GPS on there. And I didn't give her that kind. Nah.
Now it says the officers used advanced UAS, which is unmanned aircraft system monitoring technology, to identify the drone's location, flight history, and its operators. It positioned on a large uninhabited Boston Harbor island known as Long Island, and I guess that I'm not sure how that they were able to pinpoint, the operators, but what this UAS monitoring system consists of. But that modern technology right there should be enough to scare one from trying to do any wrongdoings with any type of drones. All right, officials have urged calm and emphasized that there is no evidence suggesting that the sightings pose a security threat, but they have raised the pressure on federal agencies to provide more information about the drones. Now, when you purchase a drone, it has to be registered with the FDA. Oh, I'm sorry, FAA.
FAA.
And there's over almost 800,000 drones that have been registered.
What? I didn't register no drone. You got to register your drone when you buy it?
I think when it comes to a certain type of drone you have,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you probably have to register it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't
'Cause
buying no
you
more.
got some expensive drones. I'm talking about in the thousands, man. The stuff we see in the store ain't
nothing. They don't go high. Right above your house and come back down.
Yeah, no, they got some drones, man, that cost some money. We don't know what they actually flying out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now it does. We were speaking on regulations earlier. It says drone operators should not fly near airports because it is difficult for manned aircraft to see and avoid a drone while flying.
Yeah, and if it get caught in that engine, it probably won't do much
That's what I'm
damage to
saying.
the plane, but we don't know.
Well, I'm sure it may cause that plane to have to be grounded
To
as
be
far as the
grounded.
land.
That's right.
Because birds
That's
are
right.
able
You
to
have
cause
land.
plane. Yeah.
That's right.
So I would say to anybody out there that are interested in playing with drones or purchasing a drone, make sure you be careful, man, and cautious on where you're flying your drone, and just think smart. Appreciate y'all listening. Come back next week.
This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Scott faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.